Hello, Philadelphia! I'm Bruce Buffer. It's time for the Anthony Gorgano Show!
Live from the Xfinity Studio. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Tuesday to everybody. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Always a great rite of passage for March. One of the great March annual traditions, St. Patrick's Day. Always love it. Tournament, comes perfect timing right before the couple weeks before Easter, the whole nine. It's funny. I like it better when it's like on a Tuesday and not on the Thursday of the tournament, because then the bars get they get merged with the basketball and the St. Patrick's Day. So it's too much. So it's great that it's Tuesday and you celebrate the weekend and you have the Tuesday day and today. So happy St. Patrick's Day. When we do our Daily Five, a very Irish theme to the Daily Five today. Also, so stuff that I have is green is all Eagles. I realized that this morning because I want to, I'm a big believer in, be festive, man, right? Like, be festive. I love the fact that everybody's Irish for a day. That's a beautiful thing. Be festive. So I go, all right, well, I'll grab an Eagles hoodie. Lo and behold, my man over here puts the same Eagles hoodie on. So now we look like two idiots.
Twizzies.
I think it's great. It's
We
like a
are
uniform.
twinning.
It's like a uniform. I love it.
We look so cute together.
You do.
Oh,
I love
God.
it. I love it.
I just want to, there's got to be a PHLY. I have a green something PHLY in there so I could change. My God. I'm going to be embarrassed already. When Baldy comes on, oh, no.
It's a new uniform.
Oh, no, that's not good. Lots to get to today. So, you know what's funny? We had this conversation with Murph yesterday about the World Baseball Classic. And I don't know. I love it. I just feel like I've enjoyed every one of these games. I've watched more World Baseball Classic than I have the NBA. Right? Like, I've been so into it. It's been a lot of fun. And tonight's the final. And it's USA Venezuela. I was bummed Italy lost, especially after they jumped out to a 2-0 lead and couldn't do anything against the Venezuelan bullpen. Well, tonight it's Team USA, and I'm stoked for it, man. I'm pumped up. I want to see it. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to Bryce. And a lot of people, it's interesting, because everybody's worried, well, he hasn't hit well in the World Baseball Classic. And I mean, he's notoriously a slow starter, the whole thing. Did rake a double the other day. We'll see about tonight, the whole nine. But there's a lot. It's weird. The temperature of the town is shifting beneath Bryce's feet. Now, it's going to take him to have a big year to get the foundation solid again. But I've sensed this throughout the years. When the ground begins to crack. Like, it's not an earthquake under Bryce's feet, but it's cracked. And I don't know. I don't look at him like, other than he had a down year last year. And I still think he needs protection in the lineup. I know saw the numbers, I get it. I'm just a big believer in, protection, and I see him chasing. And I always try to put myself in the athlete's shoes. And if I'm not seeing pitches to hit, I know I'm chasing. I know if I'm a hitter, it takes a ridiculous amount of discipline to just take a walk. It's frustrating to take a walk. You want to swing the bat, especially a guy like Bryce. Like those guys, they just want to swing the bat. I would marvel at Barry Bonds that he had the patience to just sit up there every time. And I was covering baseball at the time. And I saw they just pitched around him every at bat. It's brutal. It's a brutal thing to have to sit up there and not get anything to hit. And then you wonder why you sit first pitch fastball, because that's your best hit. That's your best pitch to hit almost in every at bat. Because you go, well, listen, he's going to want to try to get in front of me. And, like 7 out of 10 pitchers are going to try to get me over fastball. So let me sit dead red and see what happens. And that's kind of where the mentality was at. I'm curious, though, about the fan base. Like, I know, like, we got our great chat, and Fit Dad he's lost faith in Bryce. Sounds like VG has lost some faith in Bryce, right? Like, quick to bring up Dave Dombrowski and, elite, elite, all that. And I'm curious to see, as we get ready to start this thing, because, the World Baseball Classic will finish up spring training. And then, look, we're at it. We're at it inside 2 weeks, inside 10 days. We're about to start. When is it? It's a week from Saturday, Friday?
10 days, I think, is
10 days, yeah, 10 days. The opener is going to be here before we know it. We're going to have baseball. And then, it's here we go. Let's go, Phillies. And I know this town like I know myself. And the start will be important. To get any kind of excitement, they're going to have to get off to a good start. I mean, that's just how it is, because the way we jump on things, and right now we need to cleave to something, because both winter teams, it is what it is. Flyers are trying to make a push, probably won't make it. Sixers will be in a play-in, and what's the shelf life of that team in the playoff, even when they're healthy, right? As much as we'll try to suspend disbelief, you kind of understand it. So the town is wandering in the wilderness going, all right, where am I cleaving to? So it's obviously going to be the Phillies. And, I think they have the pitching to get off to a good start. But you know how it is. Like, Nola looked good last night. Fourth inning gives it the home run. But overall, I thought he got it out, pitched well. And they're going to early on, before the pitch counts get, jacked up, you're going to have to survive. Now, they have good bullpen, so they should be all right. They get off to a good start. It's important, though. I think it's important for our psyche, because that's what it's always about the psyche here. Like, where are we at mentally? And then that puts the vibes out into the universe. Good morning there, VG.
What's up, brother? How are you? You look handsome in that hoodie. It's a good hoodie. I was like, this or a Kelly Green jersey. Doesn't feel like a jersey day. It's cold. I'm cranky and miserable with the wind. I was like, I need a hoodie. I don't have any Kelly Green.
How about the
hoodies.
storm last night? Oh,
dude, what is going on? There's like 80-mile-per-hour winds. Our street is just trash everywhere.
My basketball net came out this morning.
What?
Was on
It got blown over?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Dude, what is going on? Can we just get a normal?
March, the whole thing. March comes in like a lion.
Stop.
I mean, that's what it is. This is March. It goes up. The storms are crazy, though.
Listen, you can't give me thunderstorms and then freezing cold with bitter winds the next day.
I know. It's bizarre.
I got to get my mind right. Either we're going to be humid with thunderstorms or we're going to be cold. I can't go back and forth.
I know.
It's weighing on me, man.
And the next 2 weeks, if you look at the weather, 40, 38, 68, 45, 72.
Yeah,
it's dramatic.
I can't roll like that.
I see Akron gives the
here we go.
Gave the storm update last night.
Brother.
And he's like, yo, bad storm coming, and like the cold front is coming. And I look at the temperature and I'm like, wow, the temperature drops like 18 degrees. And he goes, it's going to drop inside of a minute. and it's going to be nasty. He still has no power.
What? Where's he at?
He's in the Malvern area.
Oh, wow. No power out there?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he's got no power.
Wow.
But that's kind of what you get. Anyway, Massimo, same thing. You wear green to school today.
Right.
So he wore a Randall Cunningham throwback jersey.
Oh, nah, he's got to be the coolest kid in his class.
So he rocks the Randall throwback today.
I love it. Yeah, Rich McAteer coming early at us. The Gabagools are gabagone. Hey, Rich, that hurts.
Gabagools are gabagone.
Oh, Rich.
That's a great line. Yeah, I was bummed out, man.
Ah, man, I was at the pub watching last night. I told you I was going to be clean, but I had to go out and get a beer last night and watch some of the game. What you're saying is true. Half the people I'm hanging with are into it, and the other half are like, man, what's the big deal? Who cares?
Yeah, it's weird.
Like, how do you just not
it's
care?
for like here.
It's great talent.
Jules is a great baseball fan.
Mm-hmm.
Like our producer Julia is a great baseball. She loves the Phillies. She loves baseball. She's in on the World Baseball Classic.
Mm-hmm.
You're in. I'm in. I don't know. I've gotten so much enjoyment out of it.
Yeah, it's way better than watching
like,
spring training games.
Right. Like I can't like the spring training games, you can't, they're like preseason practice, you know, when like they'll do stats for Jalen in practice.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with spring training games. Like guys are working on stuff. It's a meaningless exercise. It's fun. I'm always about fun. So I don't rip it, but like you can't take it seriously.
Yeah.
Like it's not an indicator. Good springs, bad springs, it's not an indicator.
And like, okay, it's baseball. Some of us like it, some of us don't. Canada, they don't care. But the rest of the world, like, you see the crowds acting. These other countries, this is a major deal to them. Venezuela, Japan, Dominican. These are huge games for them.
Yeah. I love, the one thing I take from all this is I love the way other countries celebrate baseball, like watch baseball.
Yes.
They watch it with such like energy and emotion, and it's like a festive atmosphere.
It's like a whole different game.
Like
We sit there
Japan,
quietly.
it's festive.
Japan is crazy.
I told you I covered the Caribbean World Series one year,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd never seen anything like it. I never saw anything like it. What's the soccer horn?
Oh, I don't know, the Vizula
Yes.
or something.
How do you say, Jules? The azaleas, like it's the Masters. What is it?
I don't know, the Vizula.
Yeah. So it was this incredible noise at on every pitch, and everybody's standing up, and the whole nine. You know, I mean, it's unbelievable. Look at Todd's looking at us. Todd's looking at us, going, "Look at these two idiots wearing the same hoodie." Look, he's looking at us. Look at these two guys wearing the same hoodie. How idiots. Are they just idiots?
Oh, he's got a PHLY bird hoodie. It'd be nice if they gave the staff a couple of those.
Yeah.
Yo, Todd.
How about the talent
do
get
me
some
a
of
solid.
Vuvuzela, that's what it's called.
Vuvuzela. Thank you, Jules. Do me a solid, brother. Give your hoodie to VG.
I can't fit his hoodie. He's like a size 0. Get out of here. How does the talent get those hoodies? Come on, man.
No, he's got a pinhead.
I do have a pinhead. It's true. My head will fit.
He's like a
My
shrunken
shoulders
head.
are a problem.
He's got a shrunken head.
It's true. I mean, I just try to lean black, but it's St. Patty's Day, man.
Yeah, we're all same page. I love that PHL.
That's a great
hoodie. A great hoodie.
Yeah.
But we now are wearing the same hoodie.
We look ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
I love it.
It's getting to be ridiculous.
Yeah, it's not adorable.
Did we just become best friends?
1, 2, 3.
No,
What's your favorite dinosaur?
We did not. If you guys could switch, it would be nice.
You could throw on that Chuck Bednarik jersey hanging up behind you.
I will. I'll do a wardrobe train. Yeah. Thanks,
I like
Todd.
skinny jeans, not skinny hoodies.
Yeah.
We got Moan Dollar. I saw his comment in here. Now, he leans to be on the curmudgeon side of things. WBC is manufactured hype. Fans don't care. Another sport trying to do something different for revenue, not organic.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Why isn't it organic? It's like, it's a good fun
Even if it is
tournament.
Manufactured, it's been enjoyable.
Yeah, like
I don't watch the manufactured NBA Cup, whatever that is.
I was going to bring
That's
that up.
manufactured. That stinks.
Like, I was going to say the same thing. The NBA Cup blows.
Yeah, that's
right? Like
total
it
manufactured.
doesn't
nonsense.
mean anything, right? Like, I get the Well, it's countries. It's good ball. It's good baseball.
Yeah, man.
It's a good way to start the season.
Best hitters in the world.
And the other problem is the good thing is that it's before the season.
Mm-hmm.
So where the NBA Cup is during the season, and it doesn't really matter. It's just another game. They try to put meaning on just another regular season game when it's just another regular season game. It is what it is.
Stupid that stuff is.
The World Baseball Classic is an all-star team.
Yes.
So you're mixing up the players.
Every
Like the
batters.
NBA Cup mixed up the players, I would watch it because it would be different.
Mm-hmm.
But this is like, I get to see a lineup that goes Harper, Judge, Schwarber.
Yeah.
With Harper, Judge, Schwarber.
Yeah, I get to see
Like-
Nola's pitching against studs. I wanted to see that
I don't know. That's why I'm surprised that there's so much pushback with it.
Hey, I'm gonna read this. Skeens 8 1/3 innings pitched, Nola 9 innings pitched. Skeens 7 hits, Nola 8 hits. Skeens 1 walk, Nola 2 walks. Skeens 1 earned run, Nola 1 earned run. Skeens 9 strikeouts, Nola 8 strikeouts. He's had himself a nice little tournament.
Yes, and that should go well.
Knuckle curve was working last night.
And that should go well. Like, again, our expectations in NOLA are just don't blow up 1 hour every 3
Be a
starts.
solid 4.
Yeah.
We're good.
Like
You're a solid 4.
If
We're
he's
good.
a 4 and Painter's a 5,
Yeah.
like that's what it is. All right. So here's the thing. I want to ask you, and we'll start, and we'll talk to the chat about Bryce. Because Bryce will be at the centerpiece at center stage tonight.
Yes. Talk
If I
about
said to you-
dropping him in the lineup, maybe.
One of the top 5, one of the daily 5 questions is your top 5 Phillies all time. Your favorite Phillies. Does Bryce make that list for you?
He's close. He comes in at 5 or like tied at 5 with Dutch.
So who you got? You got,
Well,
Like
I mean, I go
Schmidt?
Carlton.
okay.
Carlton, my favorites. These are not the greatest. They're just my
No,
favorites.
your favorites.
Yeah, Bake McBride,
Yeah, I love Bake.
J-Roll,
I love J-Roll.
Pat the Bat.
You got Burrow?
I love Pat the Bat.
Really?
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
Jules does.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the whole thing, the off the field with the on the field.
He lost me with the Gimp outfit.
Of course. Yeah, I mean, that's a little weird.
I'm a little out of
Right,
that.
right, all right. But you got the dog and the Clydesdales. Like, I don't know. He's legendary. If you roll around the city, everyone's like, oh, Pat was here.
The problem is he's legendary, but not for the field.
But he's good for 25 home runs a year.
Okay, well, I'm going to throw a parade for that.
I mean, we're lucky. We'll see if Bryce gets there this year. We'll see. I'm not throwing over a parade. I just liked him. I didn't say he was one of the greatest Phillies of all time. I just like Pat the Bat.
Like Jimmy, like I think you got to be good to like them, but whatever.
Yeah, I got Jimmy
That's
on
your
there.
list.
I go tie with Dutch and Bryce. I lean Dutch.
Yeah, Bryce is out of your top 5.
Yeah.
In fact,
But I like Bryce.
I would be curious to see if he makes, like I look at the chat, does he make a top 5? He would be 5 for me.
He comes in.
He comes in at 5.
Okay.
Halladay was always my favorite. Larry Boa it would be 2. I'm a Jimmy. I love Jimmy.
Mm-hmm.
Like Jimmy's got that, way. I just love the way he played. And I got to throw Schmitty in there. I'm a Schmitty man.
Joe Rocket, Manny Trio loved him growing up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Manny Trio.
He's a.
What did Manny Trio? What was he known for? Please tell me you know.
What do you mean? What was he, turning a double play?
Okay, but how did he field?
Oh, I don't know what do you mean. How did he field?
So he would field a ground ball.
Yeah.
He would wait a beat, and then he would gun it to first.
Okay.
Yeah, that doesn't remember.
Yeah.
Ask Joe Rocket. I guarantee you he remembers that.
All right, we'll see. Give him like 15 seconds delay.
Yeah, I know.
Good.
Joe Rocket will
Joe
remember
Rocket
that.
also said he loved Lenny, but then he got weird.
Yeah, Lenny. I got the dude love early. Yeah, and then
Rich McAteer, Cliff Lee, Chase Utley, Bryce Harper, Jimmy Rounds, and Chooch. Not in any particular order.
The Chooch is
Eric Delash,
is close.
in no order. Rollins, Harper, Dalton, Holiday. And he says his bust out. There's no way he likes Heathcliff Slocum.
Wow. He goes with a Slocum.
Heathcliff Slocum.
That's a great one. Heathcliff Huxtable. Wow, that's awesome. Slocum.
Dynasty says no order. Schmitty, Lefty, Utley, Whitey, and J. Roll.
What do you guys a broadcaster?
Some Victorino love out there.
I got to fly the wine. Like he, you know.
Wow, Jeff's on it. The guy Jeff. Bobby Abreu.
Really?
Kurt Schilling, Scott Rowland.
Bobby, no.
He's rolling us.
Come on, he's not.
Lenny Dykstra and J. Roll.
Wait, in his top 5 is Scott Rowland and Bobby Abreu?
Yeah.
Oh man.
That's a troll piece. No way.
No. Ash Flowers over Slocum if you got him.
Slocum if you got him. I love it. All right, lots to get to today on this St. Patrick's Day. The great Baldy will join us. And then Dick Jerardi to go over your brackets. Oh, the bracket time. He'll help fill us out. No one's better at filling out brackets than the great Dick Jerardi. Franny Films, the little draft. We're, 5 weeks away from the NFL draft. That's coming up. So, fun time of the year. We'll talk to Franny coming up around 10:30. But first, let's talk about our friends. How about the Bet Park Sportsbook online casino app? Yeah, get ready. We'll be at Parks Casino on Thursday all day. All day action in the morning leading up to the games. And then I'll be back at 6 o'clock to 7 for the night session to prepare you for that. And we'll get all hooped up. Futures, pick your squad. All right? You got it. Like if you put $25 on Michigan, comes back 87.50. Like you got see what you like. You got all the lines for the games. We like Penn plus the points and Franny plus the points. Check that out. There's always another way to win on the app. New customers get 250 Leprechaun spins, a new Leprechaun game, which is always fun. And, of course, up to $1,000 casino bonus back if you're down the first 24 hours. You got to be 21. You got to be PA, New Jersey, Michigan, Maryland. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER, the Bet Park Sportsbook online casino app. Download it.
For the past 30 years, Golden Nugget Jewelers has operated out of the very same location in the heart of Philadelphia. Customers from across Pennsylvania, New Jersey, even Baltimore, New York City have come to Golden Nugget Jewelers to find that perfect engagement ring, wedding band, or gift. Their staff is highly trained and dedicated to providing a personalized experience. I've gone there a couple of times. I had to replace a diamond in the ring. I had to get a necklace. They're not pushy. The staff is super informative. It's just a great shopping experience. They have a vast selection of engagement rings and wedding bands, along with high-end watches, fashion jewelry, sparkling diamond necklaces, bracelets, earrings, and everything else you could think of. You receive a final cleaning and written appraisal with every engagement ring purchase. And Golden Nugget Jewelers, they're family-owned. They've been operating since 1987, right there on Chestnut Street at 8th in downtown Philadelphia. You deserve an expert, and you deserve the best price. Golden Nugget Jeweler, where Philly gets engaged. Visit goldennuggetjewelry.com to learn more and get that special gift.
All right. Oh, we got him. He's ready. He's in the film room grinding it out. You know it. The legend on a St. Patrick's Day, St. Baldy on the Xfinity Mobile call-in line.
Baldy, Baldy. Oh, let's talk some football. Ay, Baldy, Baldy. Oh, he likes meats and football. Oh, Baldy.
There he is. How about it,
Cut.
St. Baldy? Good morning,
I was trying
St.
to find
Baldy.
an Eagle shirt. I was trying to find an Eagle green shirt this morning. I couldn't find one. I don't know why, but I couldn't.
But you don't have this one that he's wearing?
Look at that. You guys shop in the same
Are we
place?
cute, Baldy? Don't we look good
Yeah,
together?
it's cute, man. Twins. I see it.
I made the mistake of going, I got to find something green, right? So,
I did the same.
I
I did the same. We got to honor the Irish out there today. Why not?
Do you have any Irish blood in you?
No, none. But I lived in an Irish town. I lived in a couple Irish. I lived in a place, Rosemount, Minnesota. In fact, our nickname of the high school was Irish, the Rosemount Irish.
Oh, get out.
Yeah. It was a pretty Irish town. Rosemount High School. Then I lived in an Italian neighborhood. It was Irish Italian. So, half my friends were Italian, half were Irish. So the O'Rourke's will always be friends, whatever.
Well, it was always, it's interesting because the enclaves are the Italians and Irish. They were always kind of in the same pool, like at least in Philadelphia.
Yeah, no, in a lot of neighborhoods.
Yeah,
my neighborhood in Long Island, it was a lot of Jewish, Italian, Irish. Yeah. It was a pretty good blend.
I had a Notre Dame. I love this Notre Dame hoodie, and I can't find it. My wife, I'm like, where's my Notre Dame hoodie? I don't know. Well, you got a bazillion hoodies. Like, what do you? Why do you wear it? Why do you have so many hoodies? And I saw the Baldy going. Baldy doesn't have anybody can say that to him.
Speaking of Notre Dame, I'll never forget this. We were moving as a family from Cherry Hill, New Jersey to Apple Valley, Minnesota. So we were moving right on New Year's Day, like New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, the day after, right, to get ready for the start of the school year. So my dad, football fan, played at Navy, all that stuff. We actually drove into South Bend on New Year's Day, went to church in South Bend. Notre Dame was actually playing Texas. You can look it up. It's 1970, January 1st, 1970. You can look it up. Notre Dame was playing Texas in the Cotton Bowl for the national championship game.
No way.
Yeah. So I remember that's actually the only time I've ever been to Notre Dame in my entire life. Never been there for any other. Always wanted to go and visit, go back, whatever. That's the only time I've ever been there. January 1st, 1970.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where did you watch the game?
We didn't. We listened to it on the radio. We were driving.
Oh, wow.
It was like, I don't know, the Cotton Bowl was, it was always like 11 o'clock in the morning.
They played for the national championship at 11 a.m.?
National champion, yeah. This is before, TV took over the whole world. So, yeah, the Cotton Bowl, I did Cotton Bowl for 8 years in a row. And it was always in Dallas. It was always at 11 o'clock in the morning, 12 o'clock kick.
Yeah.
On New Year's Day. Yep.
Wow. That's wild, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's so. All right. So this is what we got to do next.
Okay.
In the summer, when we get to training camp, I want to go on tours with you, right? We'll do the training camp tours. We got to stop and see the Irish. We got to see practice at Notre Dame.
I'd love to. I would love to go. I'd love to go watch them practice. We could tie that together. South Bend. You could be the Colts. You could be on your way to Green Bay, Minnesota. You could make the trip.
Chicago, right?
I already talked to Tito down in Austin, Texas, of Tito's Vodka. I've already talked to him about, seeing if he'd sponsor a bus, and just go camp to camp.
Oh man, that's a great idea.
We're in. I'm in.
There it is. That's it. That was it. I'll never forget.
Look how cool.
In fact, check it out though. Did Texas win that game? That was Ara Parsegian.
Texas won?
Was coaching against Darryl Royal.
Wow.
That's coaching. That's college coaching royalty right there.
21-17. Barn burner. Longhorns. Oh, I can't wait for college football.
It's funny because I wanted to go watch Fernando Mendoza yesterday, right? I just wanted to watch him. You watch, obviously Ohio State is, they're loaded, defensively, right? You kind of wonder how they even lost a game. You watch them, all you have to do is watch that game against Ohio State. You'll see everything you want to see from this kid. You want to see poise. You want to see, good decisions, throwing the ball away. You want to see deep shots down the field. You want to see third down conversions. You want to see movement. You want to see him going to his left. You want to see him, everything you want to see. You can watch that game and you can learn about that kid.
How about his back shoulder throws? How
it's unreal.
Accurate.
To Surratt, to Cooper, pick a guy. Like, you're right. The back shoulder throws, man, he's got an unbelievable touch. It doesn't matter. Like the touchdown, the 33-yard touchdown to Surratt to take the lead 13-10. Like, I don't know how many chances a lot of quarterbacks would need to convert that. But he did it on the the one time he had to get that throw.
Think about this for a second, right? Because he makes every throw. He makes great decisions. He's terrific in the pocket. Is that a pro? I was talking about this, great coaches. Signetti, my God, he's just a great coach, man. It's amazing that he where he came from. That all of a sudden, like, this guy comes to the biggest stage and is the best coach in college football.
Yeah, best coach. And, I played for the Colts for 4 years. I lived in Indiana. I know that culture. I know that state. Bobby Knight was coaching down there in Bloomington. It was a basketball school. They never turned out football. Like, you could go through the list. You could count the number of players in the NFL from Indiana on two hands. Like that, to turn that
Antoine
program
Randall L. is the only name.
Okay, fine. Good call. We can name them. It's just not a lot.
I was just making your point. You're right.
No, right.
That
it's unreal. It's unreal what he did.
It's incredible. So let's talk about, because I had quarterbacks on my list to talk about today, and the state of quarterbacks. How does Mendoza make the leap? Because, listen, I watched him a year ago, and I thought he was good, but he made a pretty substantial leap.
I'll tell you, he made a substantial leap, and then has become a great pro. All right, is Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow. Yeah. Think about this. Joe Burrow's from Athens, Ohio. All right, he's Mr. Basketball in the state of Ohio. He's Mr. Football in the state of Ohio. He goes to Ohio State. He can't win the job. He goes to LSU. His first year, he's okay. He's not great. And that's with Justin Jefferson and Jamar. He's not great. Joe Brady comes from Penn State, takes over the job, and they go undefeated. A lot, very, very, very similar. Now, I'm not saying he's Joe Burrow yet. I don't want to say Joe Burrow's like he's probably as clean a quarterback as there is in football. He's had the injuries, though. But you could say the same thing. Like, okay, Joe's, he comes to Indiana, he gets great coaching, they go undefeated, they go 16-0. Well, that's kind of what Joe Burrow did in that year with Joe Brady at LSU. And that's when, then Matt hired Joe Brady to be his offense coordinator, at Carolina, and now he's the head coach of Buffalo. But, coaching is, and you need the pieces around him. He's got three great receivers. Surratt's going to get drafted. Cooper might go in the first round.
The kid Becker, who's the deep threat, is good too.
Yeah, no, he's good.
You got another year, so
you got two running backs. You probably got a couple linemen. Left tackle's probably going to get drafted. You probably got a couple linemen going to get drafted. They're a little bit under the radar. They're not 5-star recruits. They're not. But to go win the Big Ten against Ohio State.
Ohio State's defense, dude. You see it. That defense is no joke, man.
Literally,
a secondary is a great secondary.
It is. And, everybody will talk about Caleb Downs and, all the players, Reese and you look at Lorenzo and Sonny Styles. Just loaded. Defense tackles is McFadden's going in the first round. Like, they're loaded. You watch that game. Then, obviously Miami's loaded. They got two edge rushers going in the first round. You can look at all those kids. Like that path to get there. Oregon is loaded. Like, what he did was unreal.
See, the reason why I love him, and I think he's going to be a great player, and I think he's worthy of the number one pick, because I think he's a true franchise quarterback. He's experienced duress in the pocket. Those college quarterbacks that see duress and face it, just is a difference maker, man, because you're not
we watched the play, we watched the play 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
On the throw to Omar Cooper Jr. against Penn State to win the game. He gets like Malachi crunched by two guys, but he stayed in there.
Yes.
He takes it right to the chin.
Yes.
Jaws used to call it downstairs when he did matchup, like you got to look right down the gun barrel. I mean, Jaws used to say that every week, but he was right though. And he looks right down nothing, like two guys coming right at him, like he's going to get blasted, and nothing changes his concentration. So then you go, well, what's better? Is it the throw or is it the catch? I mean, both of them are equal, but like you see a lot of plays just like that where he stays in there and he just gets blasted. But he is 6'5". He is 225 pounds. He's got size. He's got he's got toughness to him.
Yeah, it's interesting because he makes all the throws. Like the different. I look at the frame of like say Drew Aller, right? And I go, oh my God, like
right.
It's why he's going to get drafted, and they're going to look at him and go, I got to try to make this kid into a player because he's got the frame.
Yeah,
he's got an arm.
Look, I saw him at Penn State's pro day last year throwing, and you know how it is when you see a guy throw live. When you see that ball come out of his hands.
Yeah.
First of all, it goes a long ways, but it spins.
You hear it.
He can laser it. Like he's a big, strong kid with a strong arm.
Yeah.
He's just the decision making is just real questionable.
Yeah.
Can you get that? Can you get that kid to just develop that part of the game, which is so critical?
Yeah. No, it's fascinating. You brought up Burrow and the Bengals. Interestingly, Cincinnati called the Eagles about A.J. Brown.
Did they?
Yes.
With their receiving core?
Yes.
After they just paid both those guys?
They were going to have
were they making a trade for
AJ and what, Higgins? I mean, the man they didn't offer anything close to it for the Eagles. It was just more of a call, but I found it interesting.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Jalen for a second, because Jalen was he got a new children's book out, and he's been around. He's doing the flag football thing for the NFL with Brady.
Yeah.
What do we need? Like, what do you want to see? Like, this is a critical year for Jalen, right? Like, he's going to have a new OC, a real different offense, and like, what do you want to see from Jalen to make? Because he's at the point where obviously he doesn't want to run as much, so there's a transformation. And it's up to him whether he's going to be continue that Pro Bowl, MVP type of quarterback.
Can he look? Cuz the question is a great question. It really is, and it's the question. Like, can he play faster? Can he just process faster? He doesn't want to make mistakes. I get it. Nobody does. But some days, and we all watch it, so it's not like it's just I'm beating him up, but like he just holds the ball too long.
Yeah. Can
you get through these progressions quicker without holding it so long? I mean, can you speed it up? And sometimes it's coaching, sometimes it's the way they're teaching. It's things that can unlock certain things in anybody's head. But you're watching Sam Darnold and you're watching Matt Stafford in a Super Bowl, in championship games. You're watching some of these guys, or Joe Burrow, like they're just processing faster. They can get through it quicker and get the ball out of his hands faster.
And to your point, you look at those offenses and you look at those coaching, they're quarterback-friendly offenses. They're quarterback, not that Stafford needs it because he whatever. But, the other guys go into the offense, and Shanahan, Mac Jones doesn't miss a beat. That's because of Shanahan and the system and the coaching, right? And if you look at what Jalen's received, the type of offense they've run, it hasn't been a quarterback-friendly offense.
Well, I don't know if it is or it isn't, to be honest with you. Like, I want it because
4 verts every play.
Okay, all right. But look, if you just say, okay, let's watch Stafford and Puka. Like, would you rather have A.J. Brown or Puka Nacua? Like, honestly, Puka comes up with these amazing catches. But Stafford's not afraid to throw it.
Right.
And like I think.
No, your point's right. Yeah.
So, like, make the throw. Let A.J. go beat double coverage. Let A.J. just go catch a contested catch. And like, let him go get it. Like, that's what he wants. Let him come back to the ball and beat the defender to the ball. But you're throwing it into a hornet's nest, and you're just trusting your receiver is going to get it.
No, your
No,
point
he'll
is
do that. He'll do that on the deep ball,
yeah.
where it's all or nothing. All right, and it's probably not going to get intercepted. He will do that
Yeah,
on the deep
along
ball.
the sidelines.
But will you do it? Will you do it on a 12-yard dig or a 15-yard comeback? Like, he seems reticent to pull the trigger on those type of throws.
You're spot on. Listen, you're right. That's exactly right. I keep looking at it from, all right, this is where the coaching has to be better, right? Like, this is where he's got to trust. Like, one of the things, the quarterback, you know this better than anybody, that the quarterback needs to trust his coaching staff. He needs to trust the offense. Like, at the end of that game, and he's going over the sidelines going, like, dude, fourth down, like, what are we running? And nobody's got an answer.
You know, I'll give you the perfect example, and we saw it here in Philly. But you look at Shane Steichen, okay, and what he did here, and what he did with Daniel Jones last year.
Yeah.
Like, in those first 10 games that Daniel Jones played, you could never say that that's the same guy that played in New York. Ever.
Right.
Like, his deep ball accuracy, his touch, like his decision-making, how he saw the field, it didn't look anything like the hesitant player that played in New York. Like, he totally I don't know what Shane did to unlock it and what he saw that Daniel Jones could do it, to be honest with you. Because you saw the athlete, you know he's smart, all that kind of stuff, fine. But you never saw a guy that just uncorked these footballs the way that he did. And Shane did the same thing here in Philly, you know, and I feel like coaching is always the difference. My t-shirt, coaching matters, but like, I'm anxious to see, because honestly, Sean Mannion's he's got the thinnest resume of anybody I've ever seen become a coordinator. He's like those NBA guys that go from, playing, become head coach.
Yeah, here's
like,
Steve Nash.
That fast. And we don't see that in the NFL level.
Yeah.
We don't see guys just come in, hang it up, coach for a year, become a coordinator. Like, we don't really see that from players. So I'm curious. And I'm not saying he can't do it. I'm just saying the resume is very thin for the position he's in right now.
No,
And honestly, that's going to be, to your point about trust, like, I'm curious to see that relationship. Is there going to be I'm not saying Jalen's not going to respect him. I don't know what's going to happen, but that's, it'd be curious to see how Jalen and Mannion and Chris Cooper, the offensive line coach, how that relationship develops and how quickly it develops.
Yeah. No, it's going to be the story of the year. I mean, it's everything. They're going to be impossible to project because everything, like, we know defensively they're going to be good. So, but offensively, it's all going to be about that. Can they unlock their pass game? Like, we know that they're going to focus on the run game. But that's only half the equation. You got to unlock Jalen. And one of the things I want to see is I want to see ball out, right? And I want to see him
play fast.
I also want to see him navigate the pocket a little more, right? Like, not just if you see pressure or feel pressure or perceive pressure, you're just bailing out. I want to see you step up, duck under, right? Like, I want to see real coaching, and that comes from coaching. And I want to see real coach. Like, if we're going to run that offense where he's under center a lot, then that's a skill, navigating the pocket, that he's going to have to learn.
Yeah. I agree. I'm actually curious to see what the offense is, like what Mannion is, what the playbook is, and where he's taking it from. Is it, does he going back to his Oregon State days? Is it going back to, his playing days where he was basically a backup? Is it from LaFleur's offense in Green Bay? I'm curious to see what the playbook is, and I don't know, because I haven't really talked to anybody about it. We're going to find out this spring pretty quickly what it, like, some of the tenements of it. We'll find out this spring. I'll talk to some guys over there once they start looking at it, and what they like about it, what's different, what needs to get worked on. Like, we're gonna get a pretty good description, I think, sometime this spring.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm like you. Like, I'm fascinated. I'm really interested.
Well, I'm excited because it was just dreadful to watch last year.
Yeah, brutal.
It was dreadful.
Oh.
I mean, it was horrendous.
Yeah.
Just launched like that Thursday night Giant game. Like, it was horrendous. And they were up, like, I think they scored early in the game, but like they just went to sleep for long stretches last year.
I know. I mean, I don't think I saw a worse like they had all year long no identity of what they were offensively.
They didn't do anything well. They didn't do anything well last year. They didn't block well up front. They didn't open holes on any consistent basis. Third, like it was just hard to watch. Like they had the lead. I just went back and watched the San Francisco playoff game. They actually had the lead in that game for much of the game.
Yeah.
Like, I was wondering how they lost the game. They couldn't finish a game.
I mean, that Niner team was dead. I mean, no defense, nobody on defense. I mean, that was the thing that was so distressing is that you had a bunch of backups that got destroyed the following week.
The two best players were out of the two best players weren't on the field.
Right.
Like, they didn't have a single pass rusher. Bryce Huff just retired, from football. Like, they didn't have anybody. They had some rookies up front. Like, yeah, literally guys off the practice squad playing linebacker. Like, it was, they should have gone up and down the field on that team.
They had to. They had to, which is going to be fascinating. Like, I love that position. The other day, you would have laughed. It was Sunday, and it was decent, the weather. I had Massimo, I had the broom. I had his brother running routes.
All right.
And I had the broom, and I'm swatting at him with the broom to kind of train his eyes.
Was he flinching, cuz?
Right. Exactly. I'm like, dude, this is what it is. Like, you got to get – and he's like, this is stupid. Like, I'm like, no, it's not.
I see that, though. They do that in a lot of those Elite 11 camps and some of that stuff. I see all those drills. Yeah. I do see it in the NFL. I do see, some of that drill work where they're doing those kind of things. I don't know.
I want to sneak at practice. I bring the broom at Jalen.
All right,
come here.
He might say the same thing that Massimo just said.
Yeah,
he might just say, "This is stupid."
Beat it, you weirdo.
Yeah, exactly.
Real quick. So, what are you been focusing on? You watched Indiana. What else have you watched? I know you were watching Mendoza.
I'm watching. This might be the best class of inside linebackers I've ever seen come out. It's Sonny Styles, it's Reese, it's Jacob Rodriguez, it's C.J. Hill. Like, you can just go on and on and on. Like, Fred Warner was a third-round pick out of BYU. As good a middle linebacker as there is in football. Like, I think you can find starting middle linebackers all the way through the third round in this draft. And it's a front seven draft.
It is.
So, you want defensive tackles, you want edge rushers, you want inside linebackers. That's what this draft is right now.
It is. It's a great front seven draft. You're on it. The beauty of where we're at with football is the linebacker is back. Like, we went through that period in the mid early aughts into the teens where the linebacker was really really was non-existent, and then you've seen it over the last couple of years make a comeback.
It all cycles, but honestly, if you just look at the Eagles, they give Zach Bond the big contract after the first year here. New Orleans couldn't figure out how to play him. He backed up, Demario Davis there, didn't get a chance to play much, didn't get on the edge much. And then, they draft Jahad Campbell, and then N'Kobe Dean gets a big contract, and they can't keep him. They wanted to keep him, I'm sure. But, you're seeing, and then you're just seeing, because that linebacker now has to cover tight ends. And we're seeing, the tight ends that are these move tight ends. Covering Dallas Goedert is not easy. There's a reason why he caught 11 touchdown passes last year. And then, we're going to see how Jahad's role kind of grows this year and if he can see it. But, you got to cover these backs out of the backfield. Christian McCaffrey caught 102 passes last year. Good luck trying to, cover him in any way, whether it's check down screens, where he's the number one receiver, whatever. Like, there's so much on a linebacker's plate. And you want the guy to be a 3-down player. You don't want him to come off the field. The Giants just gave Tremaine Edmonds a big contract, but he's earned it. He's just played 8 straight years of 100-plus tackles. He has coming off a good year in Chicago where he had 4 interceptions. I just think that, if you can get your middle linebacker in the, to really understand the passing game where, a Devin Lloyd gets 5 interceptions. They're getting depth on these drops. But they're also blitzing. They're sideline to sideline. They're playing off a 335-pound Landon Dickerson to make a tackle. There's so many parts of the skill set that they got to have. This Anthony Hill at Texas, this kid's
that defense.
I
love that defense. That Texas defense. Oof. You look at what great linebackers. Oklahoma, a really good. It's a shame because Mateer got hurt and his arm and everything else, but their defense was legit.
Well, I mean, I remember doing the Texas OU game this year, and just being out there on the field for warmups. I mean, they must have had 6 defensive tackles. They all looked the same. They were all 6'2", 6'3". They're all 330. They all from the waist down looked like Jalen Carter. Like they were 3 deep. Yeah. I'm like, how's Texas? And then, Arch had a great game and beat him that day.
Did you see Peyton's son? There was footage of Peyton's son.
Wow. Is he 14? Yes. Is he 14 years old?
Yes.
Wow. Yeah. I saw that. That's the first video I've seen. Yeah. He's big too.
He is big. And the other kids, man, it's amazing. The quarterback family. Yeah. Oh, that's incredible.
The thing I love about Arch, though, is they lose to Ohio State to start the season. He's not very good. They lose to Florida early in the year. And everybody's it's just a hype. It's all hype. I mean, can the guys just play? The only way you get better in any business, doing anything, the only way I got better making videos was doing videos. Can you just let Arch play? All he did was get better. And all he wants is to have a college experience, hang out with the linemen, drink a beer, have some fun. He doesn't want to be in the spotlight. He just wants to play football, and have a college experience. Can we just let these kids do that?
I feel bad for kids today because it's just everything is on social media and everything's reactionary. And I did a show on Fox Sports Radio with a guy I had to fill in. It was during the week, and the guy was killing him. I'm like, dude, can you give him a minute? Quarterbacks aren't finished products. You gotta give them a minute to mature, to go through it. I mean, it's all about a process.
It is a process, cuz. And I look at the same things you see on social media, and these guys are criticizing people. And then I look at who's doing the criticizing. I'm like, I never heard of this guy. Who is he? I don't care what platform he's working for. I feel like commenting sometimes. I'm like, you're so far. It's not fun. And I just stay away. It's not worth it.
I do the same thing.
I don't even want to be a part of it.
I do the same thing because, here's the thing. I know they're getting paid. So what? All right? That doesn't mean, because they're getting paid, doesn't mean they're going to develop any time quicker. That's not the nature of the sport. Sometimes we lose the beauty of just the sport. We were talking about the World Baseball Classic, right?
Yeah.
Earlier.
Yeah.
And I love it. I have to be honest with you. I've enjoyed because they're all-star teams, and I watched Aaron Judge throw a guy out from the outfield, 96-mile-an-hour seed at third. It was ridiculous. It was a trick.
Yeah. And who's the slugger? Who's the Italian slugger that hit some home runs the other day?
Pasquantino. Pasquatch. Vinny Pasquatch.
Yeah, some guys I've never heard of. Maybe I should.
He's actually a legit prospect. He's the young player for Kansas City. Pasquantino and they have another kid, Caglione, who's pretty good in Seattle. They're pretty good. They are. But my point is that I think sometimes we stray from the love of the sport.
Yeah.
And anytime I feel like a negative, I kind of want to lean into, why do I love this stuff? I love watching.
Well, I mean, forget about football for a second. Part of life in anything is developing, watching your kids develop.
Yes.
Become young adults, men, it's just growth. Just development is cool. And if you can watch, like I texted Lane the other day because I'm watching this kid, this young tackle from Clemson, and he's big, and he's a good prospect, right? He's just not very physical, and he doesn't have very good core strength. So I texted Lane, I'm like, when did you realize like your strength kicked in, from all the lifting and everything? He said it, halfway through his second year. So we're talking about like a Hall of Fame player. But he, like in his own mind, just reflecting on his career, it took a year and a half to get to the point where he felt strong enough, where he could win on Sundays, and like that's just development, like this kid's 20. Some of these kids coming out, are 20.
Yeah.
Like, none of us knew anything when we were 20.
No.
Nothing.
No.
Like now these kids are coming to the NFL. They're 20 years old. You're like, can these kids just have a chance to develop? Because they get drafted in the first round, they're getting drafted on potential. Maybe they become a player, maybe they don't, but you better let them get in the weight room, figure out nutrition, let their bodies grow. Like I didn't really start growing and getting strong until I was like 22 or 23 years old.
Yeah.
And then I got stronger all the way till I was 35.
Yeah.
They never really stopped.
No, you're dead right about it. Dead right about it. And it's why I love you, because whatever you do it with passion and an honest enjoyment of life. Like there's a zeal for life. Like you go to Turkey, it's like, let's do a Baldy's breakdown on Istanbul. Like that's cool, man.
Yeah.
That's how I love that about you. I do.
Yeah,
That's why I love talking football with you. I can do it all day long because we love the sport. Like, let's talk about these kids.
The sport is, I grew up playing basketball in New York. I love basketball. I'm never going to stop. March Madness, I'm going to watch. Some, not all of it. But honestly, football, it never, like I could listen to Bill Parcells sound bites all day long. Never get tired of it. But even like the game today, it just keeps evolving. That's why the Eagles team is going to be so fascinating. We got
I'm with you.
Running this offense with a thin resume, who played the position. Can he unlock the quarterback? Can they get the ball to the receivers? Are we going to have fun watching it? Like, I don't know, but I'm going to learn about it. I'm going to learn. I'm going to talk to Sean. I'm going to get to know him. I'm going to talk to Chris Cooper, the offensive line coach, see what techniques they're doing. It's going to look different, but we're always going to watch in Philly. But, is week one, whoever they play week one, is it going to look different in week 9? I hope so. Yeah. I don't think it's going to be a finished product, but how they start the season.
I'm with you. My brother, we love you.
Yep. Thank you, man.
I just wanted to ask Baldy, I was playing Quizzo last night, and it came up, like, what's the oldest living vertebrate known to man? Have you ever heard of this Greenland shark?
No.
It is. No. It's up in the Arctic. It's this one, they say 392 years old, swimming since 1627.
Okay. But that's an invertebrate.
It's just
that, like sharks are invertebrates.
Yeah, whatever. Whatever it was.
They don't have a backbone.
Yeah.
Like,
so the answer was this Greenland shark, and I was like, it's slow moving.
So is it in Greenland?
It's in the Arctic area.
Oh, it's in the Arctic.
So it's lived for 392 years?
Yeah, they're saying that one was alive before Isaac Newton.
All right. I mean, that's cool.
It's a wise man, that shark.
Yeah,
I like science. Where's it? Trying to see the eyes on it. It does it have a dorsal fin?
I don't know, man.
Dorsal fin.
That's
how you always know how big the shark is. That's how you always know how big a shark is, by the dorsal fin.
Look at that. That's awesome.
Yeah. All right. It looks prehistoric.
Yeah.
Like
you do the corned beef today?
What's that?
You do corned beef, some Irish meat, some lamb?
I'm going down to the cafeteria. I'll see what Emat has to make today. He might. If he's got downstairs in the cafeteria, I'll eat it. I love corned beef. Corned beef and eggs over easy. Like, I'll mix that all up, man. Like, I could eat that all day long.
I never did the corned beef.
No?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a fan when I was eating that stuff. Yeah.
My brother, we love you. You're the greatest.
All right, guys. Yep. Enjoy St. Patty's Day. See you guys.
The best. All right, let's take a quick TO. Oh, we got legends upon us. What's the matter?
His laugh. There's certain things you say, he's just like, ha, 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 ha. Like, I can't wait for college football. He's like, ha, 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 ha. I love his laugh like that.
I amuse him. Coming up, the legends continue because there's no one better. I know Joe Lunardi coined bracketology, did a great job. He had every one of his at-large bids hit. Like, he was nailed it. 68 for 68. Nailed it. But no one's better at doing the matchups, at understanding each nuance of every team than Dick Jerardi. The greatest when it comes to this stuff between college basketball and horse racing. Nobody knows it better. He's coming up next. But first, a word from our friends.
Ashley's anniversary sale is going on right now, and there are some huge deals you do not want to miss. You can get a king mattress for the price of a queen mattress on select Ashley sleep mattresses, or take advantage of no interest until March of 2031 on top bedding brands. And it doesn't stop there. During the anniversary sale, you can shop incredible deals across the store, including offers starting at just $64 a month for 60 months on the furniture and the pieces you love. Head in store or visit Ashley.com to shop the anniversary sale today.
Let's talk about my favorite, Wawa. You ever have one of those days where you look up and suddenly you realize you didn't eat and you go, oh my God, I'm hungry. That's what I've been loving what Wawa has been doing right now. $5 deals all day. Honestly, it just makes life easier, and that's what we need. Easy. You're starting early. Grab the $5 big breakfast meal deal. We're talking sizzling, hash brown, any size hot or iced coffee. Full morning win, $5. Available from 5 to 11 a.m. Later in the day, the value keeps rolling. The roasted chicken sandwich or crispy chicken sandwich created your way at $5. All right? They even have new teriyaki recipes for a limited time. Real food, real value, built for busy days. No planning, no overthinking. Swing in, grab what you need, keep it moving. Limited time. Wawa.com for details. Fuel up. Wawa's $5 deal. Gotta have Wawa.
Ashley's anniversary sale is going on right now, and there are some huge deals you do not want to miss. You can get a king mattress for the price of a queen mattress on select Ashley sleep mattresses, or take advantage of no interest until March of 2031 on top bedding brands. And it doesn't stop there. During the anniversary sale, you can shop incredible deals across the store, including offers starting at just $64 a month for 60 months on the furniture and the pieces you love. Head in store or visit Ashley.com to shop the anniversary sale today.
Ow! I'm pumped up. I wish I had the music where we get copyright issue if we played it. Well, great. Dick Jerardi on the Xfinity mobile calling.
Yeah, woo!
What's up, guys?
Look at that. You got the whole backdrop, the whole thing. I love it.
It's all happening, my friend.
Listen, you got an incredible skill at dissection. You're like a scientist. When it comes to these things, year after year, you're always right. You just are. You know what? Even when you're wrong, you're right. Like sometimes you'll go, hey, look, this team, they should have won, but they might have missed a free throw, or they had foul trouble or stuff. You dissect it always perfectly.
I wish I was that good. I do work at it, but yeah, Anthony, I am wrong sometimes. You can always tell the bad gamblers by the guys that say they're never wrong. So yeah, I'm wrong sometimes for sure.
No, but even when you're wrong, like you're right. Like and how you would understand. Like your equation on how you got there, because because what you're doing is you're matching up styles. So you see these teams, correct, and styles make fights. It's like that in college basketball. Dude, if I gotta get this out of the way, boy, I miss John Chaney and when Temple was Temple.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I just missed it. I miss
it was
matchup zone.
Oh yeah, it was the easiest first round. You'd see him play like a mid-level Big 12 or SEC team, and you know they'd never seen anything like this. No chance. And that's something that still pertains, not like Cheney, Anthony, but even today. Like, don't evaluate a lot of these teams in the big conferences off of how they finished, because their conference games are against teams they played over and over and over again. You then
Yeah.
have to forget everything you saw at the end of the season and now try to put it into the context of who are they playing now and what does that matchup look like and how are those teams going to be able to figure out how to play against the teams from the Big Ten or the SEC or whatever. And that's something I don't think a lot of people think about, and it's absolutely critical.
All right, so let's go through big picture, and then we'll go region by region. But
Yep.
first, big picture, what did you think of the committee? I mean, they did pretty well, right?
So there's a couple issues with the committee. First of all, the makeup of the committee has been wrong for years. It's all athletic directors and conference commissioners. The NIT committee has people like Phil Martelli on it. There should be more of people like Phil Martelli, ex-coaches, ex-players. In fact, there should actually be gamblers on there, people that understand point spreads if they wanted to do this right. I don't expect it to change. And here's the other biggest problem with the committee that I have, Anthony, and this is a general rule. This has been around for quite a while now. They evaluate games in November the same as they evaluate games in March. And that's a gigantic mistake. That's why St. John's is a 5 seed and UConn is a 2 seed, even though St. John's just waxed them, won the Big East regular season, won the Big East tournament. Now, more so than ever, because of the transfer portal and all these teams are basically new, you can't even think about evaluating them off of November games, but they're still doing it that way. And until they adjust, you're going to get things that people don't really understand, like why is St. John's a 5 seed? Well, they're a 5 seed because their non-conference wasn't very good. And the committee thinks that's important. I don't. I think they're making a mistake, and I think they should change it. And even as far as the brackets this year, they actually said stuff like, hey, we're having problems with charter planes. So, we might not send teams as far away. Well, UCLA's coming to Philly. Last I looked, UCLA's in Los Angeles. 2 of the 3 Big East teams, St. John's and Villanova, where are they playing? San Diego. And I could go on. The winner of the play-in tonight is playing in, and they have the late playing game, is playing in Portland on Thursday. Portland and Dayton are not close. So, I mean, that's a problem. And how about this one? So there's only 3 Big East teams in the tournament. That UConn and St. John's were clearly better than all the other teams in the league. They're in the same region. They're in the East region. Now,
Yeah, that East region is ridiculous.
Why would you do that? Even Coach K was talking about this yesterday. He's never seen that. I mean, you understand when there's a league with 7 or 8 teams, you're going to have teams in the same region. With 3 teams, you couldn't separate UConn and St. John's, put them in different regions. That made no sense to me. And I could go on, but you get the point. But the biggest point is they have to change this November evaluation the same as March. It's just wrong. You got to change with the times, and they're not doing it.
You are so right about that. It drives me insane. They do it with college football, which it drives me like, how could Notre Dame not be in that group for the national championship? Not make the playoff. It was absurd.
No, they were clearly one of the best teams. But yeah, and I think it's just a lazy way of doing it. And I think the reason is because, again, you have these administrators that don't really know what they're looking at. They don't evaluate teams off of how they look, how they play. Anthony, I've always been a bigger proponent of it's not who you play, but how you play. And they're much more into who you play. And again, the problem is you don't have people like Phil Martelli on the committee that could actually evaluate how teams play. And that's way more important to me.
Yeah, it's my biggest beef. And then you're right about how they dispersed the regions are ridiculous. Like that East region is absurd. It's so good. It's so treacherous. And yet the other regions are weak. Like, I don't understand it.
Yeah, again, they have another thing they should change. They have a lot of these, and most people don't even know about it. They have all these little rules where you can't have certain things happen. Well, they should get rid of those rules because it ends up putting them in a box where they end up having these kind of silly looking brackets where you go, well, that doesn't make any sense. And not for 1 second am I suggesting anybody's doing anything wrong here. I think they're all honest, trying to do it the right way. I've been in that room a couple of times in mock selection, so I know how it works. but I just think the way they are looking at it needs to change with the times and just not doing it.
Hey, the one thing I did want to ask you about, what was your take on Miami O?
Yeah, I'm thrilled they're in the tournament. They absolutely deserve to be in the tournament. If going 31-0 in a regular season in a lesser conference was easy, some other teams would have done it the last 50 years. Well, none had. That's automatically you're in the tournament. If they had kept them out, that would have just basically said to all those kinds of schools, you have no shot unless you win your conference tournament. That wouldn't have been fair. It's so hard to win all those games on the road. Now, look, Miami's problem, Anthony, is their defense is terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, they're really bad. They're a fun team to watch. They're
Yeah.
trying to score 100. I love watching them play. They'll shoot a million threes, but if you watch them, and I watched probably their last half dozen games, they are really bad on defense. That's their problem. And that's why they ultimately got beat by a pretty mediocre UMass team. But yeah, that would have been a disgrace if they hadn't put them in. And I think it's starting to look like if they had lost one, they would have been out.
I know. Well, you're putting them in a play-in. Like,
Right,
I'll be honest with you. I thought the same thing. Like, listen, I mean, it's hard to go unbeaten. Like, they go unbeaten. Like, they have to be. They got to be a 10th seed. Like, just throw them as a 10th seed.
They were barely beating those teams, though. I mean, the last 5-6 games, they were winning by 2-4 points.
It doesn't matter. If you're unbeaten, you're unbeaten.
Yeah, again, I think it's such a unique situation when you see a team 31-0, and go back over the last half century of college basketball. There's not another team that did that in that kind of a league, none. And when that happens, to me, that automatically puts you in the field. They would have been basically saying to all these schools from the and the Mid-American is a pretty good mid-major conference.
It is. Wally Zerbiak, dude.
Correct. There have been some really good. Ron Harper played in that league for Miami.
We're talking
There's been
last
some
century.
very good players. But the fact that only one, this is the first team to go 31-0 or be unbeaten in any of those leagues in 50 years is certainly something deserving. And look, they are in. They'll get their chance. They play very close to home. It's a quasi-home game in Dayton. Their campus is less than an hour away, so that will help them. But they're a significant point spread underdog in the game. And I mean, I get it. I understand why.
To be fair, Jules, only one shots. Do not put the 2-shot up. I'm already embarrassed in front of Dick that today's St. Patrick's Day, right? So I grab an Eagles hoodie, and this drool has the same one on. So now we look like two idiots. All right. So that's why I'm already embarrassed. Baldy earlier. Now you. Sit down. Get out. All right. Let's go through. Just get away from me. Let's go through the regions and see who you like matchup wise, the whole thing. Let's start in the lower right quadrant, the Midwest region, which is the Michigan region. Michigan's still my favorite team. I don't know about you.
Dusty May's awesome. I love how he coaches. I love how they put that team together. It's cool that Yaxel Lendenborg is getting a shot on the big stage. He's a South Jersey kid from Pennsauken who kind of played all over the place. And it's a great story about him on the Players Tribune that he wrote himself, explaining how he basically was directionless and then his mother finally got him to a junior college, and that kind of turned his whole life around. And now he's going to be a high draft choice. That being said, Anthony, Michigan was by far the best team in the country in November and December. Interestingly enough, Penn State, which had a dreadful season, they actually showed the way to play Michigan better in early January. They actually played them a 2-point game up at State College. And from that point on, Michigan was not the same dominant team. The issue there is you want to get Mara, find a way to have your big man be able to shoot threes, get him away from the basket where he's not as effective, and make their guards beat you. Their guards are relatively average in comparison to some of the better teams. Now, their front court's awesome. I mean, it's just awesome.
Yeah.
Johnson, Lendenborg, and Mara. I think that's where they're vulnerable. And in that region, the team to me that matches up the best with them is Iowa State. They have great guard play.
Yeah, they do.
They're a terrific three-point shooting team. The only issue I have with Iowa State is they are a bad free throw shooting team at 67%. That's a little concerning, but I don't think it's a really hard region. Michigan should be the favorite, but I like Iowa State in that region. I think they're coming out.
Yeah, because I look at that region, right, and I can't see. I think Kentucky's vulnerable in the first round.
Yep.
Virginia's not beating Iowa State.
I wouldn't think so. Not off of what I've seen.
Right. I mean, Tennessee. I like Tennessee a little bit, but
you know what? And there's some upset possibilities even in the first round. If you think about Texas Tech, right, playing without Toppin.
Yes.
And I love their team. They're sensational. Akron was probably the best team in the MAC. They were probably even better than Miami. They lost the only time they played the game was at Miami. Now they have the kind of three-point shooting that makes them dangerous as a 12. And again, Texas Tech is playing without their best player. They're still really good. They're beautifully coached. And even the other game in that bracket, if you're paying attention to the news yesterday, Alabama's second best player got arrested for having a ton of marijuana at his house yesterday. He is not playing.
The
and
Speedy Claxton Hofstra squad's got a shot.
Yeah, they're dangerous because they played a lot of high majors on the road already. Now, Alabama's a lot of fun. They shoot more threes than anybody. They are wild, but one of their best three-point shooters, again, just got arrested, and he's not playing. And that happened like out of nowhere, right? I mean, even after the selection show, they wouldn't be a 4 seed today, given if the committee knew he wasn't playing. They obviously didn't know that. So I think those are two potential upsets in that region, which even opens it up potentially more for Michigan and Iowa State to play in the regional final in Chicago.
Yeah. All right, let's go up top right quadrant, the West region, where Villanova is going to play Utah State. If they win, congratulations, you get Arizona.
Good luck. Yeah, good luck. Yeah, and I don't think they're going to win, frankly. Here's the problem they're going to have with Utah State. Utah State's an elite two-point shooting team, Anthony, 59%, among the best in the country. Villanova's biggest problem, they have zero rim protection, none. I see Utah State getting to the rim, scoring. Villanova's going to have to shoot a very high percentage from three, which they're certainly capable of. But again, they're traveling all the way across the country. Not easy. Here's an interesting factoid. Jared Calhoun, the Utah State coach, a couple of years, he actually played 2 years at Cleveland State for Rolly Massimino.
Oh, man.
A quarter century ago. How's that for a factoid?
Wow, that's a great factoid. Wow, check that out.
I thought you'd like that one.
Yeah, I love that.
But yeah, I think Villanova's they got every chance to lose in that game. Look, it'd be great if they won. You'd love to see the Philly teams do well, but even if they would win, they're not beating Arizona. Arizona's the team to me that has the fewest weaknesses of any of the 1 seeds. They're experienced. They have a terrific 4-year point guard in Jalen Bradley. You look at their profile, Anthony, you don't see this much anymore. They shoot very few threes. Only 20% of their points come from three. You're thinking, well, that must be because they're a bad three-point shooting team. They're not. They're right around 36%, which is solid, but they're so good running the ball to the rim.
Yeah.
And they're so good at keeping
their transition game is ridiculous. They come at you in waves.
Yeah, they do. And they, from defense to offense, look out. And they get a lot of shot blocks and steals. And look, the most efficient shots in the game are dunks and layups. Well, that's who they are. They're a dunk layup team, but they can make threes if necessary. And there's going to be a game where they're going to have to make some. How about the Iowa State game in the Big 12 semifinal? I mean, or Big 12 final. I mean, that was awesome.
Yeah,
I mean, absolutely awesome. The finish of that game was as good as it gets.
I think High Point's got a shot at Wisconsin.
Yeah, I disagree. Wisconsin. Okay. So here's the difference between Wisconsin. People think of them as Bo Ryan, Wisconsin, right? Slow down, low possession. Greg Gard started to change that last year. Now, forever he played like Bo did. This year, they're a hot team. They want to go. They shoot one of the highest percentage of three-point shots versus total field goal attempts of any team in the country.
Yeah, I know they go up and down.
That's why they were able to beat Michigan and Ann Arbor and almost beat them again in the Big Ten semifinals. And they have a sensational guard line, very un-Wisconsin-like, in Nick Boyd, who's a great trash talker, and John Blackwell. That's as good as backcourt as anybody in the country. That, to me, is the most dangerous team to Arizona in the region just because of style of play. And if they have a game, let's say they're playing Arizona and they hit 15 threes and Arizona hits 5. Well, that's 45-15. You got to make up 30 points from the free throw line and run into the rim. That's a big number, and that could happen. I'm not saying it's going to happen,
Right,
but
right.
it could happen. If I'm Arizona, I want Arkansas knocking Wisconsin out. Get them out of here. Whoever's the 4 in that region, I'm starting to lose my mind.
It is Arkansas. No, you're right.
Yeah, I want Darius.
What do you
Aikoff
think of Arkansas?
Darius Aikoff is awesome. I think you could make a case he's one of the 5 best players coming up in this draft. I mean, he is just phenomenal. And Cal, it's interesting. He's kind of, everybody's saying, well, why did you leave Kentucky? Well, his second year at Arkansas, he wins the SEC title. Last year, they upset St. John's in the second round. So, yeah, I think he got rejuvenated down there. And Aikoff is the kind of player Cal has always nurtured and one and done and off to the NBA. They're the kind of team that, and they're an offensive-oriented team. Their defense is just okay. But if they get one of those games where they're really hot, you're out. You're losing.
What do you think about Purdue, the 2 seed?
Yeah, fascinating with them. At the end of the regular season, their defense was awful. I mean, it wasn't just like bad. They were getting riddled game after game after game. And clearly, Matt Painter, between the last regular season game and the trip to Chicago for the Big Ten tournament, said, yo, guys, we got to start guarding people. And they did. They won 4 in 4 days. Having said that, I still have a little bit of concern with them because they're vulnerable to teams with good guard lines. As good as Smith and Lawyer have been, 4-year players, they're not great one-on-one defenders. In fact, they're below average. And Purdue, to me, that's where you can beat them off the bounce. And I think UCLA, if Donovan Dent hadn't been hurt early in that game, and of course, Billiter didn't even play, I think UCLA would have beaten them in the Big Ten semifinals if their whole lineup had been out there because UCLA's guard play is so good.
Yeah.
They made Michigan State's defense look like a clown show in the Big Ten quarterfinals. They just riddled them. And that the whole thing changed for UCLA when Dent, it was the big transfer, started really playing well in the back end of the season.
Who are they vulnerable to in the bottom half of that region?
Yeah, it's a good question. I don't see a lot of teams down there. It'd be interesting if they got to Gonzaga, say in the regional final. We're talking Arizona, right? You talking Purdue or Arizona there?
Purdue.
Yeah, Gonzaga for sure. That's one of the best defenses Mark Few has had. Gonzaga historically was an offensive-oriented team. The teams that finally got to the Final Four and the one that got to the national championship in 17 against Carolina, that was defense first, and they were really good at it. This team is similar. That would be a team that would be certainly concerning if you played them in the Elite Eight. I'm sure that if you're Purdue and you're advancing, which isn't a given, although I don't think they have any really hard games at this point. I mean, Queens is the first time ever in the NCAA tournament. People are going, what is Queens? Atlantic Sun champion from Charlotte, North Carolina, first year eligible to be in the tournament.
They're going to merge with Elon, or what are they doing?
Oh, is that right? I didn't know that.
They're going to,
the Queen Elon squad.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But look, Arizona is clearly the best team in there. And it would be interesting if you had Arizona Gonzaga. That's Tommy Lloyd, who was a long-time top assistant at Gonzaga, going up against Mark Few and the Zags for a chance to get to the Final Four.
Do me a favor, DJ. We're just going to take a quick 2-minute commercial. We'll come back. Sir. We'll do the South and the East.
Yep.
And we're going to talk about some of our friends, and DJ knows them well, like the Bet Park Sportsbook online casino app. So we'll talk about that. We'll come back with DJ, do our other half of the brackets. This is great bracket primer for you guys. Let's talk about the Bet Park Sportsbook online casino app. All this stuff you could use. The DJ's right on the app. It's perfect. You got everything right here. All right? Think about this, what's going on at Parks Casino. Incredible stuff. Hoops Mania from Thursday to Sunday. I'll be there. VG and I, Thursday, will be there. You can play Pop-A-Shot with the pros. They're going to have the Bet Parks Human Slot Machine, special guest person in Sportsbook, Coach Jimmy Lynam, Mark Jackson, Matt Cord, Mike Vrieswick, Joe Conklin, Barrett Brooks, It all starts Thursday at Parks Casino in Ben Salem. You got to get there. It is incredible. BetParks.com has all the details. It is Hoops Mania. Get ready. All the games on the 150-foot video wall. You got to be 21. Gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Look, you want Jalen Carter out catching passes? No. All right? Come on now. Not worth the risk, the time, the money. Keep your stars focused on doing what they do best. Same goes for your business. You don't want your top people buried in operations, tedious, time-consuming, redundant activities that wear them down. Togo can help any business look to reduce operating costs, from customer service and accounting to order management, logistics, admin, data entry, even complex multi-step operational processes. We take it off your plate. Every Togo program includes dedicated staff, custom automations, US-based process engineers who act as your quarterback, giving you complete control, total transparency, and instant efficiency. At Togo, they turn your playbook into performance. You call the plays, we execute. HarnessTogo.com. Scale smarter, work faster, stay focused on winning. That's right, on winning. And DJ is always focused on winning. Let's get right to the South region in the lower left-handed quadrant. This is the Florida region. I have to be honest with you, I was a little disappointed with Florida. I know everybody was in love with them. I'm kind of skeptical of them.
Yeah, their problem is going forward, no Walter Clayton this year, right? He was the kid that made all the big baskets. He's now in the NBA.
Yes.
And their three-point shooting is awful. Their two guards, Xavier Lee, the transfer from Princeton, love him, terrific player, Boogie Flant. They're bad three-point shooters. Their front line is one of the best, right?
Yeah.
That's their Achilles heel. That could be their problem going forward. And they don't have in that big moment the guy you say, this guy is going to make a shot.
Yeah.
So that would be my concern with Florida. And they also have this. Anthony, if you remember back 10 years ago, Villanova was they lost in the Big East Championship the year Chris Jenkins wins the NCAA tournament to Seton Hall. So they dropped them to a 2 seed, and they took them out of the East as a favor to North Carolina because the regional was in South Philly. Well, this year, Florida's the 1 in the South. Who's the 2? Houston. Where's the regional? Houston. So they gave Florida no favor if the seeds hold. And I don't actually think the seeds are going to hold, but if they do, again, the committee inconsistent with how they do things. North Carolina will protect you. Turned out North Carolina and Villanova did play in Houston, and the game was kind of cool, and the ending was about as good as it'll ever get. But
yeah. So it sounds like you don't like Houston. You know what's funny? I have a soft spot because they remind me of Temple and the way they play. It remind me of Chaney's teams. I love their grit.
The difference between Houston this year and last year, they were an elite three-point shooting team, an elite offense. This year, they're not.
Yeah.
And they're depending much more on freshmen. Last year, they were depending on seniors. They're not nearly as good as the team that just about won the national title last year. That doesn't say they can't win, because they can. I mean, they're really good. They play in a great league. I like Vanderbilt in that region. They're the 5 seed. They're the prototypical modern offensive team. I loved how they played in the SEC tournament all the way through. Arkansas is just a bad matchup for them. I think they have a lot of good matchups in this region. Big fan of Mark Byington. How about the James Madison coaches lately? Indiana football, Vanderbilt basketball. It's the cradle of coaches that do good. I like Vanderbilt as an upset to get there out of the South.
I love that. That's a great pick, Vandy. They are tough. What do you think of Illinois?
Interesting what they did, Anthony, 2 years ago with Terrence Shannon and that group. They won the Big Ten title, and then all athletes, just runners, jumpers. He completely changed the way they play last year. They're much more European-centric now. They're much more of an offensive team. High percentage of their shots come from 3. They're not super athletic. It's interesting, the matchup Penn has with them. Now, Penn can't play better than they did Sunday, right? They can't. 14 of 28 from 3, 16 of 16 from the foul line. And
Power was out of his mind. Yeah.
44 points. So Illinois is going to score big on Penn. Penn's defense is better, but Fran McCaffrey's an elite offensive coach, has been for a while. I think Penn's going to score some points on them, but I don't know that they're going to be able to keep Illinois from scoring enough. I don't like Illinois down the road because I just don't trust their athleticism. And I'm not a huge fan of the coach in games. They've blown a lot of big leads this year because they think they're the Celtics, right? We're just going to shoot a million threes, except they're not. They're a bad 3-point shooting team that shoots a ton of threes.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think could Penn. I think what's the line, VG? Like
24 and a half.
It seems like a lot of points.
That's a big number. My concern with Penn would be they just won their championship, right? And then they have to travel from Ithaca. Now they're going to South Carolina, which is good, right? They don't have to go a long way. It's a physical problem. Their front line is so big with Illinois, and they're extremely skilled. It's going to be hard to keep them from scoring. But what could happen is Illinois shoots 5 for 32 from 3. They have games like that. That's if Penn's going to have a chance, that's the chance they'll have.
Gotcha.
And they seem to be bad defensively, Illinois, from the guard perspective. And Penn's a really good 3-point shooting team. I think they're like 15th or 16th in the nation.
Yeah, it's interesting. Early in the year, Illinois actually played in the Palestra on Penn's home court. They played Penn State there. And Keaton Wagler, their star freshman, he was kind of an unknown at that point. He got in foul trouble in that game. He's become like a star. He's become a lottery pick. But he's not an elite athlete. He's an elite basketball player. And I think that's what Illinois has. They have a lot of high skill players. It's fascinating that they changed the way they play because the other way was working too, but they have totally changed the way they play the game.
That's fascinating. All right, let's look at this loaded East because the East is just ridiculous. I mean, Duke and UConn and Michigan State and Louisville and St. John's. I mean, UCLA. It's unbelievable, that region.
Yeah, Kansas. Yeah, a lot of national champions, Hall of Fame coaches all over the place. Having said that, Duke is the best team. They're really good.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of downside. Now, the kid Foster, I mean, they're saying he might play, but he just had surgery. He's not playing. But their big guy, Ngumba's coming back, apparently, and he's their rim protector.
Yeah.
The Boozer twins are really good. They have more than enough shooting, and I'm a huge John Shire fan. He walked into the toughest spot like ever. Succeeding.
Yeah.
And if you watch them play, Anthony, they run some of the most intricate offensive sets you'll see. I love their inbounds plays. They're really good. They're not on par with the stuff that Connecticut runs. Which remember I sent you that video a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Connecticut does not have the talent that they've had in recent years. They're not remotely as good as those two teams that not only won 2 national titles, but covered the spread 12 straight times in 2 tournaments, which will never happen again in the history of life.
Who do you like from the bottom part of that region?
I like UCLA a little bit. And they're going to be here in Philly. And my man Mick Cronin, he's an old friend. We spent a little time at the racetrack together. I know you're surprised.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Well, he used to coach with Rick Pitino, and of course Rick has been
right. Yeah, duh.
With him. So yeah, I love their guard line. And I was actually telling him what cheesesteak places to go yesterday. He was suggesting one place. I won't get into the names. I said, nah, it's actually not the right place, but it's okay. I did explain to him where he needs to go. But yeah,
so if you need, put it this way, if you need special deliveries, just let me know.
All right, that's fine.
I'll hook it up for you.
You'll take care of them. That's fine. Yeah, I'll find out what hotel they're staying, and I assume they're coming tonight or tomorrow at some point. But
yeah, let me know. I'll take care of it for you.
Yeah, I think UCLA is dangerous. They play UCF to start with. Johnny Dawkins, one of my favorite guys ever, the first great player for Coach K. He's doing a great job out there in the Big 12. But I just think if you watch UCLA in the Big 10, they're a great 3-point shooting team. They're very un-Mick Cronin-like. They're a pretty average defensive team, but man, they can really shoot. And since Donovan Dent has started to play, they have been very hard to deal with. And in the tournament, if you have a guard who can beat his man off the bounce, well, that opens up everything. I think UCLA is dangerous bottom half of the bracket for sure.
All right. Let me ask you before we get to your favorites, let's go sleepers that can make a run. And this is brought to us by Rita's. That's right. The sleepers. Who you got, my brother? Give me a couple sleepers that you think can make a run there's nothing better than when Florida Gulf Coast or one of these teams, St. Peter's, like they're a blast.
It defined make a run. Sweet 16.
Yeah.
Akron. Yeah, especially if somehow Hofstra wins their game, they could have a 12-13 matchup in the second one. I just they play with a lot of pop. John Gross was the coach at Illinois. It didn't work out for him. He went back to the mid-major level. And it's been a long time since the Zips have been a factor in the tournament. But I think that league was better than people gave it credit for, which is, again, they were downgrading Miami because they played it in the MAC. I think Akron, of the double-digit seeds, has the best chance. But having said that, Anthony, you're going to see fewer and fewer of these double-digit seeds going anywhere because of the transfer portal and the fact that even when they get good players, they're getting rated in the offseason where the high majors can pay their kids a lot of money.
Any surprises in the Elite Eight?
Yeah, I mean, Vanderbilt would be the one. You know, you get having a 5 getting to the Final Four. That would be one for me. I think Duke and it's Duke, Arizona, Iowa State, and Vanderbilt are my 4 to the Final Four. And I think Duke and Arizona are clearly the 2 best teams. I think they have been for a couple of months now. And I would have said Michigan if you said if this is November and December. I wouldn't say it now. So I think it's Duke and Arizona, and I'm picking Arizona to win the championship.
That's fascinating. Because I was all Michiganed up, and then and hearing you, I go, your point about the guard plays, and you know,
they do have a relatively, they have a relatively easy region, which is going to be helpful, and they're in Chicago right for the regionals, which is where they just played the Big Ten tournament. I just haven't, and I'm a huge Dusty May fan. I think he'll coach it up. I think he's brilliant. I love how he interacts with his players. I just think they're missing something, and I could see them in a tense game shooting 3 for 23 from 3, and that's how you lose.
Yeah.
Hey, Dick, can I ask you something about the Duke? I saw,
Sure.
I think it was a breakdown. Might have been the Florida State game because with Caleb Foster out and Caden Boozer running the point, he's a good point, but he doesn't like to shoot very often. He takes like maybe 1.5 threes, and it almost looked like, I think it was Florida State, where they didn't even really cover him. They let him stay wide open. He shot 0 for 5, and they gave them an extra defender in the paint. Can you see Duke running in the defense like maybe the Johnnies run something out like that at them and give them a little trouble?
Yeah, not out of the question. And look, I love Rick and St. John's. They're going to have a problem in some game. It's fascinating because he loves the 3-point shot. This is third year in a row. He just doesn't have 3-point shooters.
No.
They're just not very good. But yeah, it's a great point. I thought Florida State did a phenomenal scouting job and coaching job against Duke. When I watched that game, what impressed me the most was that Duke actually won without 2 of their main guys. They had every reason to lose that game. That's when I got even more appreciation for what they have done and what they're going to do. I was dazzled that they won that game because they had every reason to get beat.
How do you see that? Speaking of Johnny's, because it's lining up for Johnny's in Kansas. I don't think either of them are going to get beat in the first round. What do you think of Kansas?
Not much. I don't think Bill Self likes the team. There's no reason if he doesn't like the team. There's no reason I should like the team. Yeah, I just don't see it. I think it's a pretty mediocre Kansas team. I will say this about St. John's. You know, they have to travel. They're going to San Diego. Northern Iowa is exactly the kind of team you do not want to play in one of these games. Slow pace, really good defense. It's going to be like they want to make it like a 60 possession game where that brings losing into the equation for the better team. So that concerns me a little bit. I'm not saying St. John's is going to win. Rick will figure out a way, but you would rather play a high paced team that just shoots wildly. That's not how Ben Jacobson's team plays at all. But the St. John's have better players. Yep. And Zuby Ejiofor is one of the phenomenal projects. He started his career now. This is going to be interesting. They play Kansas. He started at Kansas. He couldn't get on the floor. Yeah. He came to play for Rick. He's become a star, absolute star. And he's your classic Rick big man, blocks shots, doesn't do anything stupid ever. So, yeah, that'd be fun if they do play Kansas in round 2. Zuby will want to block a few shots into Bill Self's head.
If Duke does struggle, who else could you see? Michigan State's getting a lot of love out there. Do you think they can make a run?
Look, Izzo's one of the all-time greats. He's done it again with a team that's a little better three-point shooting than the team from last year, which made the Elite Eight. But they don't have pros on the team. His best teams had NBA guys on it. I don't see any NBA guys on this group, but you give major respect to the coach because he's done it over and over again. But again, you look at them talent-wise, and you just say, man, this is not that great. It really isn't, but you respect the coach's history for sure.
Who's the biggest fugazi?
Ooh, man, that's a really interesting question. This is hard for me to say because I'm such a fan of the coach. And even last year when he had lesser talent, I don't think Connecticut's that good. I just
Yeah.
don't. I haven't all year. And I hated the way they finished. I mean, they lost. They're playing for a share of the Big Ten championship, and they lose at Marquette, which was way down. And Dan Hurley's is a sensational coach. Is he a nut? Yes. Should he stop with the whole referee craziness? It's not helping him. He's probably not getting any calls. They're a way higher seed than they should be. Again, they're getting played off of winning at Kansas in November. Well, what does that mean in mid-March? Nothing. I just don't think they're that talented. But, Anthony, because they're out of the Big East, where teams don't know them, they're at least dangerous because, as we talked about, trying to defend that madness, the maze that they run, is hard. But I think of all the top seeds, they're probably the one with the least amount of talent.
Yeah, that's a good point.
We got a question. So John Lynch in the chat wanted to know what your thoughts are on Nebraska. Can they make a run? I mean, they'd have to match up against Vanderbilt pretty early on, so I imagine you don't think they can.
So Nebraska's another team that Fred Hoiberg's totally remade how they play, and he should be the national coach of the year. They don't have a single player that has any shot to get drafted at all, and he had them finishing tied for second in the Big Ten. Their problem is going to be against another, if it's Vanderbilt, for instance, another elite three-point shooting team. They're going to have an issue. They do well guarding it, but I just don't think they're going to be able to outscore a team like Vanderbilt. And this is a weird factoid. Nebraska is the only power conference team and has never won an NCAA tournament game. I mean, that's just kind of weird.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's just one of those weird stats. Do I think they'll win their first round game? I do. Again, Fred Hoiberg, who I love, and I love how they coach it. They have a certain style of play where they don't let you do certain things. And his son, Sam, who is basically a walk-on, has become a really, really good Big Ten player. To me, he was the MVP of their team. But having said that, they might have already maxed out what they're going to do. I don't see them making a deep run, although I would love to see it because I'm a fan of how they play, and I love the coach.
I hate this region, the South.
I know.
It's a mess.
I know.
Like the fight Martellis. I think they got a legit shot against North Carolina. I think they may win.
I agree with that. I think, without Wilson, North Carolina is a pretty average ACC team, and the ACC is not anything like we grew up with anymore. It's Duke and then the rest of them. And major credit to Virginia for changing the style of play with Ryan Odom and becoming the second best team in that league. But yeah, VCU and young Phil Martelli, they do have a chance. Extreme athletes, really good three-point shooting team. The game is in South Carolina, so it's not necessarily a home court for North Carolina. I mean, VCU's in Richmond. It's not all that far away. And VCU's fans travel. And there'll probably be Duke fans down there that'll be booing against North Carolina because they're in that region too. So, yeah, I do give VCU a chance. It was fascinating that they said that VCU, if they hadn't won the championship game, they weren't getting in. That's kind of hard to believe that they weren't going to get in. But the tournament selection committee said they were out if they didn't win the game against Dayton on Sunday.
All right, last thing, and I'm dying for your answer here. Rank your three coaches that if you have a game to win off of a Friday, Sunday, like your Friday, Sunday, Sweet 16, who are your three coaches?
Pitino, 1 with a bullet. Izzo, 2. Let me think about 3 a little bit. Probably Dusty May, just because of how in tune he is with the modern game.
Yeah.
But of the veteran guys coming back off a day, Pitino, because his teams are in such incredible physical shape. I've never done a study on this. I don't think anybody has. But if you think of last 10 minutes of like second games in tournaments, going back to Kentucky, to Louisville, even Iona, and now at St. John's, Rick's teams are awesome. And it's not necessarily an X and O thing. It's more of just, we're going to be the team to make the last run, like they did Saturday night against Connecticut, right? They got a big lead. Connecticut got close. What happened at the finish? Connecticut died because St. John's is in such superior physical shape. Izzo, just because of an X and O guy, he sees things that others do not see. And Michigan State, look, I could call out every play that they run because I've seen it so many times.
Yeah.
But they're the Vince Lombardi Packers. Right?
Yeah.
That's it. And they're going to run it with precision. His issue, as I said earlier, is that they just don't have the NBA talent they've had generally on his Final Four teams. But yeah, they would be my 1, 2, 3 just off the top of my head. But yeah, Rick to me is the greatest college coach since John Wooden. I've said this before. I'll say it again. You know, Coach K won his 5 titles. Awesome.
Yeah.
Roy Williams, but they did it at the same place.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where Rick goes.
Yeah.
And if he had stayed at Kentucky instead of taking that Celtics job, you don't think they'd have like 6, 7 more titles?
Oh, yeah.
Of course they would.
He'd be rough. Yeah.
Right. He'd be up where Coach K was with 1,200 college wins.
Yeah.
He's the best. And he changes with the times, Anthony, and he still loves it.
He loves it. I was going to say that to you. He loves it. I love guys that just love it. Like
he's got the passion, and that's how his teams play.
Yeah.
And there's no chance somebody said, well, when are you going to retire? He's never going to retire.
No.
What would he do?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he could hang at the track with me some, but he's got the offseason to hang at the track. He's fine. He's got 8 months to hang at the track. But yeah, he just loves it. And you can see, watch his players, the individual skill development, how much better they get when they've been with Rick for a little bit of time. It's astonishing time after time. Again, the problem, I can't figure out why in the hell he couldn't find a couple of shooters this year, because he loves shooters. He always has.
I know. He loves the 3-point shot. It's shocking.
Yeah. He's a defense first guy. Always has been. You know, he got Providence to a Final Four because he figured out that 3 was better than 2 before the rest of college basketball figured it out back in 1987, the first year of the 3-point shot. But he's become more like, I want to make sure you can't score. But yeah, if he just had like if he had like a Hancock at Louisville, one of those guys that were open, Luke Hancock. He doesn't have that guy. I think the guy's sounding. Every once in a while, I say, man, I like his ball. Maybe he's a guy that could get hot for him. But that Rick get a 3-point shooter. Maybe he can get one out of the transfer portal and play tomorrow. You know, I mean, that'll be coming soon to you, right?
Oh my God!
Season transfers.
The whole world it's such a whacked out. I've been dealing a lot with it from the football standpoint, and it's just crazy.
Does Mark Few even come into your consideration? Because I don't really see him as one of the greatest coaches, but he's been consistently doing this for a long time.
Yeah, he's really good. Mark is up for the Hall of Fame again, and if he doesn't get in, it's a joke because there's so much NBA centric. They ignore the college coaches. Yeah, I mean, think about it.
They got to separate this whole thing of basketball.
It's just dumb.
Separate.
Right, Christian Laettner is not in the Basketball Hall of Fame. I mean, come on.
That's a joke. It's a joke.
It's absurd.
Best college player ever. Like, you know, he was a better basketball player than Tebow was a college quarterback. And he was
absolutely. Yeah. It's just wrong. But yeah, Mark, to be able to sustain that level of excellence, and now he's gotten to Final Fours for that long, and to make Gonzaga into a national program, it's be interesting. Next year, they're leaving the WCC. They're going into the new Pac-12 with who's in there? Oregon State, Washington State, Boise State. It's more of a football league than a basketball league, but they're changing leagues. But I don't think it's going to change how they do. But yeah, no, Mark Few should absolutely be in the conversation. He's one of the best to ever do it.
What's your plans tournament wise? What are you doing?
I'll be hanging with you at Parks. I'll be out there, pal.
There's nothing better. The greatest thing in the world. I freaking
watching all the games.
I tell Mike Baldinger all the time, just like put me with Dick anytime. I love our conversations. I just love them. I mean, I love talking basketball with you. I love talking football with Baldy. I love talking college hoops with you. It's nothing better. Nothing better.
Well, I appreciate that, Anthony, and we'll talk some hoops at Parks on Thursday, Friday, and who knows how many days we'll be out there. But yeah, Mike, he asked me to get some guys, and I got Mike Vrieswick, and Mike Kern got Mark Jackson. I got Jimmy Lynam, and
Let's go!
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Let's go. You're the
We'll get it
greatest, cuz. Love you, man.
That was fun. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it. Dick Jerardi.
Such a local treasure.
He is.
Yeah.
I mean, I love talking talking baseball with Charlie Manuel, talking
Yes.
football with Baldy, talking college basketball with DJ.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'll tell you in a minute. Like, we're gonna take care of. I got a great story for you.
All right.
First, let's take care of some business. Let's talk a little boxing because Philadelphia's a boxing town, right? Quick shout out to something that's really cool that's come to the city. You love boxing, live events, just a wild night out? You got to check out Team Boxing League when the Philly Smoke step into the ring March 20th at the Fillmore, a rematch of last year's championship against the NYC Attitude. This isn't your typical boxing event. Team Boxing League is fast, high energy, built for fans. Team v team, nonstop action, and the crowd's right on top of it. Think big fight atmosphere with a Philadelphia edge. The kind of night where every punch gets the room going. And the Philly Smoke representing the city, so you already know the energy is going to be crazy. You want to be there live? Grab your tickets now. Use promo code PHLY when you check out to score your tickets. Get on the action. What a fun night. Again, this coming March 20th, this week at the Fillmore. Come out, support the Philly Smoke as they take on the NYC Attitude. Get your tickets. PHLY is the code, and grab some smoke.
Looking for a car? Looking for a truck? Looking for an SUV? Elkin Chevrolet's got you. Elkin Chevrolet, they're run by three brothers. Real brothers, local guys. They're at the dealership every day making sure everything's going smooth. And right now, they're putting on a President's Day sales event, and the deals are bigger and better than ever. You need a truck? They've got it. Looking for an SUV? They got that too. They got your Silverados. They got the nice Blazers. They got the big, comfortable Suburbans and Tahoes. Every vehicle comes with the kind of service that makes you feel like you're part of the family, because they are a family. But don't wait. These President's Day deals are only there for a short time. Swing by Elkin Chevrolet, Route 73 South in Marlton, New Jersey. Super easy to get to right over the bridge, and get in on the deals that are just plain honking good. Elkin Chevrolet, they're real brothers, they're real deals, and they got a whole lot of honking good service. Together, let's drive.
All right, here we go. Time for the daily grind. And we gave you some good tips for
You can't get any better than
with
that.
Dick Jerardi. So he gave you Vanderbilt. So check out Vanderbilt, Akron, potential upsets, and Hofstra plus the points against Alabama.
I like that.
Because the big arrests.
Yes.
Because of the
Some herb. Too much herb. What are you doing? You can get it almost anywhere now. What are you doing running
I
around
don't
with
understand.
pounds of it illegally?
No, come on,
No
bro.
sense.
Come on, you get the tournament. Be an athlete. Don't be a gangster.
You're right.
Jeez, what's wrong with you?
I like Howard tonight, plus 1.5 versus UMBC.
In the playing game?
Yeah.
Little Howard
I
action?
think so.
I like
I'll
it.
probably lean Texas, too, in the later game.
Yeah, I would too. That's your daily grind for today. What are we doing, Jewel?
Yeah, we could do it back in the day.
All right, let's do some back in the day. And before that, I got a couple things. I didn't even get to the daily 5 today.
So 5, you're gonna eat an Irish potato. We'll eat Irish potatoes today. Celebrate a nice St. Patrick's Day.
I once covered. I used to do a lot. I used to fly out of Philly when I was working in New York. I was living here. Like, I lived there, but I'd spend so much time here that I wound up staying here a lot. And I would just fly out of PHLY or PHL. And
on the roof.
Yeah, PHL. And so I always with Dick. Like, I did a tournament, and so we would draw a lot of the same tournaments. So we would go out all the time.
Yeah.
And Dick doesn't drink.
No?
No.
Wow.
Right?
Is he a smoker?
No. Nothing.
Wow.
When I tell you, gambling,
He sits
that's
there and
it.
does ponies all day without a
Ponies,
beer or a smoke?
No, nothing.
Wow.
Clean as you could be, right? Like we went to this oh God, Showboat Casino. It was like a riverboat casino
Okay.
in St. Louis.
Oh yeah, right on the
Like
river.
we
Yeah,
was gonna
that makes
meet on
sense.
the riverboat, and Dick was just cleaning them out with blackjack.
The blackjack.
It was unbelievable. Who like he knew everything, like whatever. And I'm like 10 gin and tonics in.
Oh man.
He's like, don't worry about it, man. I got you. Hit. He's out of his mind. He was the best. All right, real quick, let's do this and then we'll go back in the day. But give me your in honor of St. Patrick's Day.
Yes.
Your 3 Irish greats.
Of anything.
Any walk of life.
Jim
Like-
Morrison, The Doors.
Oh, that's
singer.
a great one.
Love Jim Morrison. I gotta go with our man.
Keats.
Huh?
Keats.
No, I gotta go Pat McClune. I mean, he's one of my favorite Irish people. He beat out Bob Cooney for the list, but
That's good. Two good Irishmen right
and
there.
I gotta go, with my ancestors. Bram Stoker. He's an Irish writer, barrister, wrote Dracula. I gotta go Bram
Really?
Stoker.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, man. He wrote about my ancestors, so I
I
gotta
thought Daniel Day-Lewis is one of the great actors.
Oh, he's a great actor. It doesn't make my
No
list.
Bono? I thought you might go. What,
I can't stand Bono.
Okay.
Yeah. He's
All
a
right.
little too.
No UT? No
Yeah, I
UT?
like you too, but he's a little too. I'm the greatest guy in the world. I help everything, and I don't know if he does or not.
All right. 3 Irish sports figures.
Ooh, this is a fun one.
All right.
I love John McEnroe.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I even like him as an announcer. I like it when TMZ gets him at the airport. He's miserable. Connor McDavid.
I love Connor McDavid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like McKinnon, too. They're
Yes.
the 2 great Irish hockey
They-
players in the world. McKinnon, McDavid.
Yes. And
What about like Bobby Hurley?
sure, fine, nice.
The Irish Chris Mullen.
Can't touch
The
this.
Irish point guard, the Irish shooting guard.
Can't touch this list. Connor McDavid, John
The
McEnroe.
great Irish coaches.
Yeah, the number one's the GOAT, John Daly. I love that guy.
What about Shanahan, cuz?
Yeah, man.
McVay?
Nah, man.
Couple great Irish coaches
John
right
Daly
there.
out there smoking cigs, hitting balls.
All right.
I love John Daly.
All right.
Great drink too.
And in your and again, in honor of St. Patrick's Day, your 3 favorite beers. What's your 3 beers for VG?
So I don't.
You're like favorite to drink.
Yes.
Like, in honor of the Guinness. Like, I love a Guinness. I do.
Yeah. So Yard's Philly Pale is my go-to standard.
Okay.
My favorite in the world is La Chouffe, nice little Belgian golden. Maine Lunch is also a really nice IPA. They're my top 3. If I gotta go Irish,
I should have like this with Jamie.
I like the
Where's
Murphy's
Jamie at?
Irish Stout.
Do you? Over the
Yeah,
Guinness?
I do.
What is this?
Dude, that's
Irish
that's
potatoes.
a Philadelphia treasure.
Yeah, Orion's
potato.
Irish. Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
do it. We got to do it for the thing. All right, while we're doing that, we'll go back in the day. Brought to us by
We're going back. We're going back. We're going back in the day with True Mark. Oh yeah.
What do we got here?
St. Patty's Day 2022. Claude Giroux becomes only the second flyer all time to play 1,000 games as a flyer.
Wow, gee.
Bobby Clark, the other one.
He was a great Irishman. Bobby
Yes,
Clark.
He was.
He was. He was
Still
fantastic.
is, right? He's still hanging with us.
So here we are, the Irish potatoes for you, Jamie Lynch.
Little cinnamon.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, Jamie.
They smell delightful. Cinnamon,
Yeah. Yeah.
a little coconut and cream inside.
Yeah, it's a great, the Irish potatoes are a great
Are
item.
they gluten free?
I don't know.
Yes. You're in.
All right.
Tasty.
They're delicious.
Jules, great job. Chat.
Hey, we had can I just bring up one little nug? We don't need a song or anything. All this Patino love. Did you see his outfit this weekend?
Yeah.
With the puffer jacket?
Yeah.
And the Timberlands?
Yeah.
This guy is loving life right now.
He's the best. He is. He is. All right, that's going to do it for us. Everybody have a great day. We love ya. See you tomorrow.
We all silly like the mayor.